Good evening. Doing a little bit of thin spinning of some wool here from Jacob Sheep. It's a short staple, so I'm not drafting very long here. Kind of pull at that point where the thread and the fiber come together. That point of twist to get a good consistent thin thread. I do have a gauge which I will use to keep myself on track, which is a yarn gauge. So I want to keep it kind of thin in between the top lace area, and then we'll apply from that to get a thin fingering weight when we're done. And my new added hooks on the flyer for the Ashford here have been a great help. Get a little better wind onto the bobbin versus the 5 and hooks, and now I have 9. Nice thin thread here, and we're going to switch hooks, add some more. So this is going to end up being some yarn for my sock machine. So I keep my drafting triangle and pull right where the twist and the triangle meet, and makes a nice consistent thread here. Not over twisted, not under twisted. I am on the large whirl, so making thin, so we need to twist a bit, but still not too much. And you can see a little bit of vegetable matter, and that just drops right out. So let's see what we have here. So we have a nice thin fingering weight, fingering to lace weight, and that's what I'm looking for. A little bit of a thick spot right there, but some of that's just loose. Pull some of that out. Short fibers. And mostly when you pull at that point on the triangle, where the twist and the triangle meet, that'll help give you a real consistent size. And there is a YouTube video that I'll link in the description that explains this and kind of shows it a little better. If you want to go thicker, you'd grab further up. If you want to go thinner, you grab further back. So if you're starting to get a little too thin, you grab a little forward. If you're too thick, you grab a little further back, and that'll help overall keep your size correct that you want within a consistent range. And having the gauge really helps. And the nice thing is the gauge, you can reference the gauge at any point. If it getting too thick, you'll notice it. So it's pretty much right in there, right in that groove. And I might go a little bit thinner like I was originally doing. But this will give a nice fingering weight for my little sock machine. It's an antique sock machine. So the gal who did the video with a good technique on how to keep things fairly consistent. Yeah, it looks like a little junky spot there. Took that to heart and gave it a shot, and I really like the technique. So that's why I'm referencing that particular video, because I think it's a really good one, and I think it's really important for people just learning, like me, to get good, consistent thickness. And you also want to keep an eye on your bobbin, make sure you're not overfilling a spot. And the nice thing with the double treadle is I can just literally stop anywhere and not have to worry about it. If we're on a single treadle, it might need to get an extra round. And so my fix with the leather washer and adding more hooks was a big benefit to the Ashford traditional wheel. The one that's can be both single or double drive. And I prefer to have it as a double drive. I like the control I have with a double drive versus the Scotch tension, or even the other style with Irish tension type wheels. Double drive is a really nice way to go. And the other thing is, if you're spinning a light colored yarn, nice to have a darker background, contrasting background, so you can kind of see your work. Because sometimes the light, if you're on a light background, it can kind of get lost and you lose your visual. There, I'm back at my slightly thinner, which is more what I want. But I'm still within that size range that I'm looking for. And so more practice will give me more consistent results, and having the tool, you just use it to double check yourself. And even if you're a really seasoned spinner, I'm sure that having a tool at hand on occasion to check yourself would be a smart thing, especially if you're doing work for a customer where you're spinning a specific size for them. And if you've given them a sample of your work so they can go, yep, that's what I want, then that's the gauge is your friend for your commissioned work as well. And so before I do anything, I'm going to be giving some of my stuff away to somebody who's a seasoned knitter to see what they think about the quality of my spinning, and if it's suitable, and have them make something with it. So I've asked somebody at work to do that for me. And they're more than happy to. So I'm waiting for them to let me know how much they want, either weight-wise or yard-wise. And if they want wool or whatever. And they said they'll make something, and then we'll go from there. Because they were willing to buy, but I want to make sure that what I'm doing is quality work to be able to sell. So there we go. So we're kind of back in that range there. That's looking good. So I'm just going to stop right there, and we'll talk to y'all later.